Okay, I wanted to go over the problems on slides 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we're on slide 5. The first equation, x equals 4. Just think about coordinates that have an x coordinate of 4. Okay, you only need 2 of them. Okay, there's point 4, 0. Here's point 4, comma 5. Okay, good enough. We got 2 points on the line. We can tell that's vertical. Okay, it's vertical and it goes through 4 on the x-axis. Okay, y equals negative 1. Okay, I need some points that have a y-coordinate of negative 1. Okay, here's point 0, negative 1. Let's just go to 5, comma, negative 1. Okay, as long as we have 2, that's all that matters. Okay, there's our 2 points. We can tell it's a horizontal line that goes through negative 1 on the y-axis. Okay, x equals 3. Okay, find some coordinates that have an x-coordinate of 3. Find some points that have an x-coordinate of 3, like 3, 0, and 3, 2. Okay, so I can tell that's vertical, and it goes through 3 on the x-axis. Okay, slide 6. Okay, more of these, y equals 3. Okay, think about points that have a y-coordinate of 3, like point 0, 3. Or maybe 0.7, 3. Okay, I can tell that this is going to be a horizontal line that goes through 3 on the y-axis. Okay, x equals negative 5. Okay, just think of points that have an x-coordinate of negative 5, like negative 5, 0, and negative 5, 2. It doesn't matter what points they are, just so they have an x-coordinate of negative 5. Okay, that's supposed to be a vertical line that's going through negative 5 on the x-axis. Okay, y equals 0. Okay, think of points that have a y-coordinate of 0, like 1, 0. Okay, like 5, 0. On the right. Okay, you're going to have a horizontal line. Okay, it's actually just the x-axis. Whoops. Okay, y equals 0 is basically just the x-axis. Okay, on slide 7, and make sure you're doing these before you check them. Okay, don't just work with me without really knowing for sure that you can do them. Okay, when you're on slide 7, we want you to write an equation for these graphs. So what I like to do is just think about what's always the same on these graphs. The x-coordinate is the same thing every time, or the y-coordinate is the same every time. Okay, what's the same every time? Okay, if you look at this first graph, I see I have 0.20, and I have 0.21, and I have 0.22, and I have 0.23. I can tell that the x-coordinate of that line is always 2. Okay, that's how I think of it. So I know the equation is x is always 2. X equals 2. Okay, the second one. Start looking at some points on the line. Okay, this right here is 0.0, negative 3. This is 0.1, negative 3. This is 0.2, negative 3. This is 0.3, negative 3. Okay, what's always the same? Okay, the y-coordinate is always the same. The y-coordinate is always negative 3. So my equation is y equals negative 3. Okay, the third problem. Okay, just think about what these points are. Pick any of them, doesn't matter. Here's 0.02. This is 0.12. This is 0.22. This is 0.32. Okay, the y-coordinates are always 2. So the equation is y equals 2. Okay, the last one, let's see. This point right here is negative 1, comma 0. This point right here is negative 1, comma 1. This is negative 1, 2. This is negative 1, 3. Okay, just think about what's always the same. Okay, the x-coordinate is always the same thing. Okay, the x-coordinate is always negative 1. So the equation of that line is x equals negative 1. Okay, when you get really good at it, you won't have to think quite as much. Okay, every time you have a vertical line, it's going to be x equals a number, and it's going to be the number that it crosses on the x-axis. Okay, every time you have a horizontal line, okay, it's going to be y equals some number, and that number is always going to be where the y-axis is being crossed. Okay, it just takes practice. Let me know if you have questions on these. Please watch the last slide, or at least read through the last slide for kind of to finalize this a little bit.